Okay. First, I gotta say, Brandon, kiss your mother with that mouth. There it is. Yeah. Step forward. Our photographer hates the shadows on the screen. Congratulations on a fine freshman feature film. It's a hard thing to do. Tell us a little bit about your journey. As you know, I kind of have a thumb on what's going on in film in Aberdeen, but you didn't participate in Fishguard. We didn't see you a lot at the film festival or anything of that nature, but all of a sudden you show up with this feature film. Tell us a little bit about your journey, please.
Yeah, I spent a lot of...
That might be. Number 3, make sure.
I spent a lot of time in my bedroom, so that's why I really didn't get out much. I was a part of a Fishguard festival, but it wasn't for my film, it was for another friend who I was helping out. But yeah, I've always wanted to make movies, and I've always just had a passion for it. And I think when I went to Full Sail University in Florida, it kind of gave me like it broadened my idea of what I could do. And I talked to a lot of teachers, and they said, well, if you want to be a writer director, you just gotta direct. So while I was there, I just kind of did everything I could, made as many shorts as I could, worked with as many filmmakers as I could, and then I decided, there's a lot of talent here in the Midwest, and I was like, if anyone's going to help, explore that, I'd love to be one of those people who helps them.
Well, it's always wonderful when a filmmaker comes home to make films. It's good for the state, it's good for the community, but it's wonderful that you thought about Aberdeen and bringing it back, because you frankly could have made this film anywhere, right?
Well, we tried making it in Florida, but it is really expensive to make a movie. So that's another thing, I have to thank everyone here, just everyone who helped out with the film, because, everyone, I heard people whispering, that's a pizza.
Yeah.
And it's because they would let us just hey, we want to film a scene real quick in there, and they're like, yeah, come on in. You do that anywhere else in a bigger city, they're going to charge you a lot of money, and
$1,000 for a couple of hours.
People aren't very, jumping to that opportunity to have people
But at the same rate, when you come to a small town like Aberdeen, some would think that you're giving up access to a lot of the assets that might exist in bigger communities. What were some of the hurdles that you found as a young filmmaker? And MJ, you're probably going to get to fire in here too. Mom, by the way.
This is my mother.
Mom, she's awesome.
She helped me.
What were some of those production hurdles that you had to deal with instead of doing this in Florida, by doing everything? What were things you had to overcome?
I definitely say the finding people who have somewhat knowledge of film is a little hard, because I feel like there are people here who want to do film. It's just a matter of they feel like they don't have the right resources, they don't know where to go. And when I was in high school, I'd bring up, yeah, doing film would be cool, but then everyone else would say, well, is that like a real job? Is that like a real career? Can you do something with that? So then it's hard for people to kind of get, motivated. But I think what the hardest thing was just bringing on this crew that didn't really know a lot about film, and just slowly teaching them while also trying to stay on the schedule. But they learned really quickly, and they did an amazing job for us.
Well, and I would agree with you. You take a lot of non-actor actors and put them on stage or on camera, or you're using stage actors like Brian T. Schultz, and Nate. Nate's known probably around here more, but as a Northern ACT actor. Nate, MJ, if you lend him your microphone for 1 second. Nate, you've acted on the big stage. Now you're on the big screen. For you specifically, probably not a lot of film experience coming out of Aberdeen. Now you're working with a rookie filmmaker, and how do you translate what normally is projecting to the 40 feet to the back of the theater, and now all of a sudden you have a camera 6 inches away from your feet?
It was 100% about pulling everything back, and I differed every single time to Brandon, because he tutored me a lot. He taught me to kind of Don't, like, as you just said, throw it out 30, 40 feet, and it was, that was the biggest hurdle, I think, was just pulling back.
Well, it is hard. I've tried to do both, and I'm terrible on the screen, so don't even ask. MJ, for you, how many films have you produced before?
0.
Yeah. Tell everybody, just really quickly, everything you have to do as a producer. That's a joke, by the way, you can't be done. But literally, give people that, most people don't know, they haven't participated in making a film. What is it that a producer does, or what did you learn that a producer does in the course of making this?
Well, I guess I wouldn't have been able to do what I did without Brandon. And he helped organize a lot of stuff for what I needed. I was able to just go and contact everybody. He didn't like doing that, so I...
And contacting everybody is actors, actresses,
Yeah.
locations, food. See, must have been grandma made some craft services there. It's a big endeavor, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot.
So if you were to guess, or Brandon or whoever knows this, you wrote this in high school, is that correct?
I wrote it once I started college.
Once you started college, okay.
I wrote a series when I was in high school that I'm still trying to work on.
Good, that's always the last question, what do you have to work on?
He's got the pilot, though.
But, so from the time you wrote this and then you decided to go ahead and produce it, from you and mom sitting down saying, we're gonna do this, till it makes it to a final cut, how long did it take you?
The pre-production was about a year, and each time he didn't think it was actually gonna go through each time, and I had to break down things on what he needed to do, and as we got through each step, he got to see that, yeah, this is possible, we can do this.
I'd say even from starting like the writing standpoint, I started writing it right before I graduated college, so it took like all together encompassed like 2 years, I'd say.
So a full year of pre-production, then a year of production. Yeah, but you know, some people ask the question, how long did it take to shoot? So from first camera roll to a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, months?
A total of 2 months, because we had to reshoot the funeral scene since the continuity was off.
So a couple of months to do what we think is the hard work, but then it takes how many months in post? It takes forever. Post is where films are made.
Yeah.
Right.
And he did all the editing, and then like the final cut, Sean at Labyrinth Films helped finish up the rest of it for like sound effects and...
Right. Who was your cinematographer on this?
Sean
Sean shot the whole thing with. It's nice to have a veteran come in, and I think there's some really beautiful shots in there, and I don't know if Sean made it here tonight or not, but
He's on a shoot.
he's on a shoot. Good for
The
Sean.
fact that he lived in Aberdeen too and operated out of Aberdeen like made scheduling and everything just so much easier. Like everything fell into place with this movie, like with the actors, the locations, the crew. It just seemed like everything that needed to happen happened, and I'll always be grateful for that.
Brandon, can you talk about directing yourself? You're in almost every single scene in the entire movie. What were the challenges of that versus directing all the rest of your cast?
I didn't originally want to act in this movie because of that reason. I just wanted to stand back and be like, all right, let me just tell the actors where they need to be. I can focus on, you know, that level of storytelling. But then when you throw myself into the mix, I feel like a lot of shots I wanted to redo weren't even like Nate's or, you know, any of the other actors. It was mine because I just hate looking at my face.
So that would lead us to this question. This is probably the first time you've seen yourself on a 30-foot screen in your own hometown with all of your friends and family members and all that staring at you. While you're watching the film tonight, and this is a horrible question to ask, but I gotta ask it.
Do it.
What would you change? What did you not like about your own film?
You know, I would tone down some of the cursing. You know, I do see where you're coming from on that.
It's my mom. Yeah.
I think why I went so heavy with the swearing is because every single kid that I meet talks like that. They say some of the craziest stuff. So like, I just don't really, I wanted to make it as a realistic experience as possible.
And to be honest with you, I think it did fit, you know, I mean, it may be a little verbose, but, you know, I
It was a
know,
lot
I know how I
worse.
talk, and I
We
don't.
had to meet in the middle, but it was a lot worse.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
Oh, my.
yeah.
Oh, my.
So we had to tone it down a little bit. but-
Callie, we don't want to forget you up here.
Kalie.
Kaylee, sorry, my fault. Kaylee, how was your experience in this?
It was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
Well, what was, had you worked on film before?
Not on film, just theater.
Just some theater stuff? And so what did you glean out of this, in the difference in film versus theater?
Well, I think kind of like Nate said, it was not projecting out this far, but you know, camera's right there and it's gonna pick up every little detail that you have in your face, so you gotta pull it together.
Yeah. How did you like his writing?
I really enjoyed the original script. I did. There were some things that actually, even when we were filming, that he cut out that I was, oh man, I wish, he would have left it in, but that's, time and editing. That's what is what it is.
But that's one of the things we appreciated about it when we saw it, the restraint or that it took to make the right cuts and get this movie to the right length, which is, we watched a lot of feature films, of course, screening at the festival, and most of them don't have that kind of control over their own material. And it's like, if it would just been 30 minutes less or 15 minutes less, and that was by far one of the things that was most impressive with was the editing.
Music is strong in this film as well. Tell us a little bit about some of those choices, who helped you out, where did the inspiration for a lot of this come from?
Well, I don't know if a lot of people in here know Denim McDermott. He is, yep. So I got a Denim shirt right here. And we got Denim's mom over here too, so yeah, love you, Mary. So Denim, he's a local artist and he's killing it in Sioux Falls right now. I've known him for a long time, and I said, hey man, I have this movie I'm doing and I'm looking for music, and he's like, yeah man, I'll send you a bunch of artists. And he sent me probably over 1,000 songs, and I listened to each one of them, and they were all local people, and some of them sounded like they should have been like on the radio or should have been discovered by now. And once I chose the songs, I was like, okay, what do they want me to pay for? And they're like, we just want to help out. We just want to volunteer. We just want you to make this movie because we like your project. And again, just for that, I'll be grateful. And I've met so many cool people through Denim and just throughout this whole film process. So.
Well, and yeah, I think we can put our hands together for the music.
Did you do the music editing as well? In the course of the editing, did you do the?
Oh yeah, I edited the music into there, yeah.
Let's take this moment, and I don't know if MJ or Brandon who wants to take this, but this is a good opportunity for you to thank them all. Anybody, any names that you want to put out there, shout outs to family, friends, loved ones?
We'd be here all night if we were doing that. But I mean, for me, like, within this industry, like, you can make it or you can't. It's just a matter of if you have the passion for it, but you also need a good support system. And I think the person and people I can like thank the most is my mom and dad. If I didn't have their help and I didn't have them keep pushing me to go to film school in the first place, or do this movie and help out on the movie.
I did go into labor in a video store too.
Yeah, but she did labor in the video.
It was meant to be.
She wants everyone to know that. Yeah,
He
she's all.
directed kids in the first grade also on the playground, and then we got called to the school because not all the kids wanted to play superheroes.
Okay, that's the look of an embarrassed kid right there.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mom.
But all the businesses, that's Hars Motors, Scotty's, Ipswich High School, it's just everywhere on Main Street, because we did a lot of Hoodrat stuff on Main Street, I don't know if you could tell. Just everyone who let us into their homes, everyone who donated money to the project, everyone who volunteered to be on set, This movie would have been impossible without you, and that's like everyone who's filling this room right now. So I want to thank you all.
Well, let's get it is wonderful that it is wonderful to get a local community involved. Piers had a few films done down there, and it's nice to see a feature done in Aberdeen. Do you have other projects in the works, obviously?
I do.
Okay, good. Do you have anything that you're working on diligently to get to shooting?
I have a feature and a series I'd like to do, and I'd love to do them all in the Midwest, Aberdeen, or wherever. I just want to stick to this whole, every movie and show I watch, I feel like I never really get a good outlook on what it's like to live in a small town like this, and I want to explore that more. But yeah, I'd say there's this feature that I want to do. It's called South Second, and yeah, I guess that's really all I can say about it right now.
Well, don't give away too much. But if somebody's interested, in investing in your film, you're willing to talk to them.
100%.
Yeah, all right. And we should. The chances of a film like Hoodrat going out into the market, first of all, even getting into the market is it's very tough. It's a 1 in a million shot, literally. And then for it to become financially viable is very difficult. So when somebody's making an investment in an independent filmmaker, especially a young independent filmmaker, a lot of times they're making it's a benevolent gift to an artist. We buy art and we put it on our walls, or we buy albums and we play them. We don't think a lot about investing in filmmakers, and sometimes just giving $20 or $50, $100 to a filmmaker can really go a long ways. $100 can be lunch for one of those 2 months while you're shooting. So if anybody out there is interested in making a contribution to a young filmmaker, do so, because you're funding the arts, and it's an inexpensive way to do it. And you may not have a piece to hang on the wall, but hopefully you'll have a DVD or something to stream later on. And it's important that we invest in film. It's important that we invest as an art. So please do that. Where does Hoodrat go from here? Are you at other festivals with Hoodrat?
Yes, we've been accepted to Orlando, and we're playing on a Saturday.
Okay.
So we're pretty proud of that. And then we've received 2 awards, one here.
Soon, yeah.
And then the other was in New York at Cinema Fest, and he got best first feature.
I want to thank my dad and my stepdad and all my friends who are kind of helping me out. This kind of a crazy time for me. And I can't thank Brandon enough for asking me to come on this. So that's just thankful. That's it.
Thank you. We'll take just, I know there's a lot of people that are here. Let's get more house light, please. I want to take a question or two from the audience. If anybody's got something that they would like to ask, I'd be more than happy to repeat your question. You're going to have to raise your hand and yell it out to me, and I'll try to repeat it. Anybody have something for our young filmmaker? Yes, right here in the middle, Danny.
I have to know, is Jaron a real human being out there somewhere?
The question is, was Jaron a real human being out there?
No. Next.
Everybody knows a Jaron, whether you want to admit it or not. You all know that person.
He is real, unfortunately, but yeah,
Thomas isn't too far off.
Yeah, he's my favorite. He is by far my favorite character in this movie, and my favorite character to write. No offense, but he is. Without him, this movie just would have just been so depressing with all these 3 whiny boys crying about their lives.
Brent.
You got a couple directors that you feel influenced your
The
work?
question is, are there any directors that are influencing your career?
Edgar Wright. And of course, the answer that every film student gives, Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, way to be a cliche. Good job. Yes, ma'am.
So you chose to film in Ipswich. Why?
You chose to film in Ipswich. Why?
We were thinking about doing it at Central. Central, it's just, the school itself seemed way too big to me. And when we went to Ipswich, the school was like decent size, but it wasn't like too overbearing, and it wasn't like, okay, this is a school that these bored kids would go to, and like they just don't like their lives. And it's a little bit because of the high school. I would say that everyone at Ipswich was so welcoming, and everyone was so just like open-minded to everything.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you want to, have your teacher headbutt you in the chair or whatever? Yeah, sure, go for it. Oh, you want to break out a fight with some trays? Here, let's apply the trays. You know, like you can't pass down something like that, and Ipswich was amazing.
Yeah, it was the perfect size, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because if we were to film at a school like Central, that meant a lot more extras that I had to be responsible for. And I had enough of those.
MJ, you said something classic to me about, and this was a couple of weeks ago, the tips for making your first feature film. What were a few of those things on that list, things that you're not supposed to do?
Oh, yeah. Well, when you make your first feature, one, you're not supposed to act in your own feature. You're not supposed to work with kids in that. We're supposed to have a small cast. And what was the last?
Don't work with animals, but we had Sharon on set, so.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you did everything wrong, and it turned out pretty right for you. Congratulations on your film. Let's put her in together.
Will you get up here?
Tom, we have an award for this.
Oh, whoops, sorry. I do this all the time, Brett knows. South Dakota Film Festival presents to Brandon and his team Best Narrative Feature Film, Tales of American Hoodrat 2019.